From ancient times to the present, we have longed for houses to travel with us like other objects. So we put houses on cars and on boats. So how do we usually move a building? As early as the beginning of the 20th century, many countries had used overall translation technology to move buildings with continued use value, or cultural relics value to suitable locations for reuse and protection. The overall translation of buildings in China has developed since the 1980s. At present, there are hundreds of examples of overall translation of buildings. Based on this, many technical specifications and technical codes have been formed. In short, the overall translation of a building is to change its vertical force transmission system by setting up lower tracks and jacks according to the theory of underpinning. And then, cut and separate the upper structure and foundation, and move the upper structure to a new position by pushing and pulling. Let's simulate the construction process of the overall translation of a house. This is a multi-story building with a reinforced concrete frame structure, an independent foundation under the column. There is no foundation beam under the brick wall on the first floor. First, plan the translation route, and determine the translation plan. Dig the foundation. Design and construct the new building foundation, track foundation and lower track beam. Embed steel plates on the surface of the track beam. The surface of the steel plate needs to be flat and smooth. Then, backfill to a certain extent. The reinforced concrete column adopts the column holding bracket support method. The brick wall adopts the double clamp beam support method. Arrange the jacks reasonably between the upper and lower tracks. The jacks unload the upper structure, and change the original force transmission mechanism of the frame column. Use a rope saw to cut off the connection between the upper structure and the old foundation. Then, evenly arrange the support sliders between the upper and lower track beams. Set an oil-blocking groove in the slider and apply lubricating grease. Finally, the jacks are lowered synchronously to transfer the vertical force from the jacks to the sliders. The power system adopts a tension type. The transmission of tension is completed by setting a traction pedestal, a through-type jack, a PLC hydraulic synchronization system, a steel strand and an anchor device. After the preparation work is completed, the overall translation of the building begins. The displacement value of each translation of the building is controlled by the jack stroke, and the operation is cyclic until the design position is reached. The displacement of multiple systems needs to be synchronized. Comprehensive monitoring is required during the translation process to check whether there is any deviation in the translation direction of the building. After the translation is in place, the column longitudinal reinforcement and foundation dowels are connected. And grouting is poured to complete the connection between the superstructure and the new foundation. In addition to the above translation methods, if the building itself has good integrity, we can also directly use a large crawler crane, or SPMT system for overall lifting and translation. In future videos, we will continue to talk about these methods. Welcome to follow us.